Hey everyone, in this episode we're going to be going over how to use photos in your Adobe Premiere Pro projects. Now, let's hop right into the computer, and this is a really simple one, but there are some nuances we want to talk about. So I've already imported this photo here down, and you can see it in the preview monitor, and the source monitor rather, and it's just a really pretty photo of a sunset that I took. And using photos is as simple as importing audio or video in your projects. Now let's go ahead and just click and drag this down onto our timeline. And one of the things that I do want to note is that when you bring in a photo, it's going to default to whatever you've got it set at for the default duration, which if you haven't ever adjusted that, it's going to come in at, I think, 5 seconds. Now you can go in and stretch this out or make it shorter, as long or as short as you would like. There's no limitations on this because it's not a set video file length that we might have shot. If we have a 10-second shot, it's only ever going to be 10 seconds unless we really stretch it out or slow it down rather. So I want to end my little video here on this this photo, and you can see I can click and drag it around just like anything else. Now something that you might notice, and I actually pulled this one I think from Instagram, so it's a little bit smaller, is that it's showing up with the huge black bars around it. Normally what you're going to have is you're going to have a photo that's way bigger than your actual video frame, because most of the photos that we take professionally are going to be pretty large. So it's going to come in, it's going to look like this. And you can see that we're cutting off a huge amount of the image. That's normally what it's going to look like when it's a full resolution image. So you can actually go up here in the effects control panel. You can adjust it to be that frame size, pretty easy to do. And then you can, again, move this around. You can add video effects to it. And photo effects, so let's go back into the effects control panel. We're going to type in cross for cross dissolve. And you can see I can add a transition to it, just like I would any other video clip. As simple as that, really, really easy. Now, something that I do want to talk about really quick before we go is that a standard photo is kind of boring. It's, while they're pretty to look at, you might want to add kind of a Kine burn style effect to it, where the image maybe moves around a little bit, or you zoom in to a certain part in the video, or into the image rather. So how we would do that is up here in the effects control panel, we would want to maybe find an area. Let's make sure we're down where we want to be, the beginning of our clip down here on our timeline. And this is where we want to start. We're going to create keyframes, and we'll go into this more in another tutorial. But what we want to do is create a keyframe, and that's all that's telling Adobe Premiere Pro up in the effects control panel is we're going to start here, and then we're going to end here with whatever the parameters are in between. So if I want to, let's say, start at this scale, at a scale of whatever that is, 257, and then we want to make it a little bit bigger, and we can click and drag that up. You can see I'm going to play through this. It's going to get bigger there in the monitor. Pretty simple. You can see that these keyframes, what we're going to call those, are pretty close together. Now, to make this the length of the video file, we can just click and drag those kind of in this mini timeline up in the effects control panel. And now that effect happens over that whole duration. So it's a little bit smoother, a little bit more subtle. And you can do this with the position as well. So if we want to end on that position, we're going to go maybe a little bit backwards on our timeline. And we're going to, let's say, move it here. So now we're going to start over here, and as it moves, it's actually going to move down into that sunset just a little bit more. So really simple, really easy way to use and edit and modify photos in Adobe Premiere Pro. That's all I've got for you on this one. Thanks for sticking around, and I will see you in the next episode.